Now in New at 6, honoring our local veterans, we have the details on the Wallace High Veterans Day Assembly. Plus, winter is right around the corner. Do you have the essentials in case of an emergency? And Makenna Merrick, more dry weather is on the way.
Thanks, John. We are seeing quite a bit of sun in our 7-day forecast. I'll have the details ahead.
Channel 3 News at 6 begins right now.
Broadcasting from the Channel 3 studio in downtown Wallace, this is Channel 3 News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm John Webb. Last Sunday, we celebrated one of the most significant holidays in America. Schools across the country celebrated the event, but according to locals, Wallace hosts one of the best ceremonies. With the details, we toss it over to Mason Chafee.
John, thank you. Wallace High School recently had their annual Veterans Day Assembly last Friday on the 9th. At the assembly were the students of Wallace High School and Silver Hills Elementary. There were also locals and, of course, veterans. According to the Wallace High School's principal, Chris Lund.
Well, all the students at Wallace Junior Senior High School attend the assembly, including the staff, and also we brought Silver Hills Elementary students up to attend the assembly as well. And then we invite community members throughout the community. We did that through advertising in the paper and through our school Facebook page, and we had a great turnout.
The veterans were honored for their service with gifts from the ladies of the VFW in Osborne. Unfortunately, so many veterans showed up that they didn't have enough for all. Reporting from the Channel 3 studio, I'm Mason Chafee.
Mason, thanks for that. With the changing weather and snow up in the mountains, the Silver Valley Search and Rescue wants to make sure that you are prepared for the elements. Some gear that you should carry in your vehicle is water, food, blankets, road flares, jumper cables, and a shovel. Now, if you plan to go hiking, carry a backpack with the 7 essentials: a navigation device, illumination, sun protection, first aid, fire-making utilities, a knife, and a wood saw. And the Search and Rescue could use a few more volunteers. If you're looking to join the team, message the Search and Rescue's Facebook page for an application and the requirements. In local news tonight, the Wallace Christmas Fund is now offering applications for their annual Christmas gifts. The program gives out Christmas presents for Wallace students who are 18 and under.
If their families cannot afford Christmas gifts for them or they need extra help, we have gifts.
The National Honor Society helps raise the money for the program, and they even wrap the gifts. Applications are now available. Just go to one of the locations on your screen. The Yuletide Lighting Festival is right around the corner. Our reporter Lindsay Foster has the details.
Thanks, John. This year's Yuletide Festival is being put on with the help of Anita Price and the Wallace Swim Team.
The first 2 weekends in December, starting on the 30th of November, will be Friday, and we will have like a craft fair at the depot. There'll be somebody reading the Christmas story at the Wallace Coffee House. There'll be a tree lighting, caroling thing at 6:30 at night, 6 p.m. at night down at the depot. And we'll have the bell ringing from we're going to light the Christmas tree down there and have the bell ringing from the depot.
Following the events, there will be a winter walk and Christmas caroling around town.
And then you also, Santa comes, and we have the competition for Master and Miss Snowflake. And right now, as of yesterday, our person in charge of that, Mr. Ruse, got like 40 people that wanted to do it. So we'll see how many really show up to do this.
Price is really encouraging people to come out to this year's event because there's a lot of new additions. Reporting in the Channel 3 studio, I'm Lindsay Foster.
Lindsay, thank you. Just 40 minutes after 5 p.m. on the 12th, the Shoshone County Fire District Number 2 responded to milepost 45 on I-90. A press release stated that a vehicle accident took place in the westbound lane. As a result, the vehicle caught on fire. District 2 extinguished the fire and assisted law enforcement with traffic control. Thankfully, no one was injured in the crash. Well, Ryan, there's not much happening in the sports center, but we have some preseason interviews.
Thank you, John. I interviewed Coach Miller of the Wallace High basketball team on his thoughts on how the team's going to do this year.
We're playing Kellogg and St. Mary's, so those are always good games for us historically. So we're excited about it. The kids are excited about it. First game of the year. Should be a lot of fun.
Back to you, John.
Ryan, thank you. The National Junior Honor Society at the Wallace High School is doing another food drive for their pantry. Our Kinley Fry has more details. Ken?
John, thanks. Wallace's National Junior Honor Society put on a food bank drive at their school. They had a competition between all of the class grades and who could donate the most items.
Donations are going to the pantry project at school for anybody who needs food when they can't afford it. And then another half of the food went to the Wallace Food Bank.
The class that donated the most items received a 20-minute longer lunch. According to Tapman, the junior class won the competition with 1,721 items. Reporting in the Channel 3 studio, I'm Kinley Fry.
Kim, thank you. It's the most wonderful time of the year in the Idaho Panhandle National Forest to find the perfect Christmas tree. Tree permits are now available at any of the U.S. Forest Service ranger stations or the supervisor's office for $5 each. Most of the 2.5 million acres of national forest are open for Christmas tree cutting. Make sure you head out earlier in the day to have plenty of daylight hours, dress for the season, and be prepared for cold temperatures and snow. For more information, including office hours and locations, please visit their webpage. Well, Christmas tree cutting weather is in the 7-day forecast. Let's check in with Makenna Merrick to see when to expect it.
Thanks, John. Looking at the Doppler radar, we are seeing no signs of showers. Temperatures feeling like the high 30s will be in our region. The 7-day forecast is showing chances of snow and rain on Friday, but Saturday through Tuesday we are getting high chances of sun. But on Wednesday and Thursday we are looking at some chances of snow and rain. Back to you, John.
Makenna, thank you. In state news this evening, authorities say a north central Idaho man died while hunting Sunday morning after accidentally shooting himself. The Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office says 25-year-old Ryan Rigney of Lewiston was hunting near Soldiers Meadow Lake when he accidentally discharged his gun. The Lewiston Tribune reports emergency medical crews were sent to the rural area at 7:42 a.m., but life-saving measures were unsuccessful and Rigney died on scene. Deputy Chris Schmitz said the investigation is continuing, but the death appears to be an accidental gunshot wound. On social media, Rigney described himself as a dedicated father and an avid outdoorsman. Earlier this year, he and his 3-year-old son were the subject of a search when they went missing while hunting for shed antlers. They were later located in Orfino. Idaho wildlife officials say they have decided to suspend the current steelhead fishing season because of a possible federal lawsuit. 6 conservation groups are contending the state's steelhead regulations because they believe the federally protected species is being harmed. The Idaho Fish and Game Commission on Wednesday voted to end the current season on December 7th. Idaho Rivers United, Friends of the Clearwater, and other groups in a notice of their intent to sue last Monday says Idaho doesn't have an approved fishery management and evaluation plan to allow steelhead fishing. Such a plan is needed for the state to have a steelhead fishing season. Most steelhead that returned to Idaho from the ocean were raised in hatcheries, but some steelhead are wild fish that began life as eggs in the river gravel. Tonight, the good news. This young lady is on a roll. She traveled the U.S. coast to coast, all by herself on skates. The 23-year-old kicked off her adventure in Florida using a camera attached to a makeshift selfie stick to chronicle her 6-month-long journey. She battled severe heat, she braved heavy rain, and pushed through fierce winds. Nothing could stop Eunice Ho as she skated while lugging a 40-pound backpack. And get this, she traveled without bringing any money. She wanted to prove that the world is still filled with good people, so she relied on the kindness of strangers to open up their homes to give her a place to sleep and eat. She's now completed her 3,850-mile journey, proving that kindness still does exist. Wow, that's this evening's 6 o'clock broadcast. For all of us here at Channel 3 tonight, I'm John Webb. Have a great evening and have a happy Thanksgiving.